Hi. Onyi and I are about to do a reading. Oh, okay, girl, get on and look all fine and stuff. Okay. Well,
Hi, hi.
hi, welcome everyone. We are doing a spontaneous hide. What up, Drucker? We're doing a spontaneous reading for the collective because the new moon is the full moon is Tuesday. October was turbulent times. We're just trying to see what is necessary to get rooted and booted for November. So I was going to pull some cards. Onyi's going to do whatever Onyi's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So any themes you've noticed today, though, on that tip?
A lot of fiery energy today. Actually, the
Girl,
combination of fire and water.
I had 3 cards pull out.
The
The
rugged
warrior.
warrior. Yes. It's backwards. The explorer. Yes.
Sorry, my camera's whack like that. And
The
outlaw.
Ooh.
Rebellious energy. Explorer's not so. Oh, I'm glad. Onyi, so someone said divine timing. Welcome. We're doing spontaneous readings for the collective. So, okay. So you say fiery energy.
Yeah, fiery energy. And what is it? Ooh.
Movement.
Movement. So fiery energy and also a lot of water energy, and really finding the balance between the two, of a lot of that action, fieriness, just like being that bright and explosive energy. So a lot of movement in the fiery realm, but then also a lot of the coolness of water as well, movement, but there's still like a lot of movement. Regardless, it's movement. There's a time for the fiery action and movement. And is that fire in the background or something else? The
Wing. Ascension.
But then having the coolness as well that water brings, the clearing, the fluidity that it brings, but it's still moving. So basically, the idea is like no stagnation. No stagnation in any circumstances, depending on how that movement needs to look for you. And I see that people will be fluctuating between the fiery movement and the watery movement, but still the movement is necessary. A lot of people are actually, reading that I did yesterday, what was coming up was shifting a lot of the foundations that we are familiar with. Was it the take risks? Yeah. So shifting a lot of foundations, a lot of what we know, what we knew, what we thought we knew, a lot of things coming to the surface, a lot of what people believed about themselves, about our society on different levels, their families, a lot of that is breaking apart. And so really that water coming in to really cleanse that, clean that, the fire coming in to transmute that. So there's a lot of clearing and cleaning, but just with different energies, the fire and water. A lot of that has been coming up in the last couple of days for a while now, this whole month, I think, last month. So it's time for people to really do what they can to move with the water, move with the fire, don't resist it, really do all the work that is necessary to do to not maintain stagnation, because just things are crumbling, and just holding on to the bits and pieces that are breaking apart is not serving you and doesn't really allow room for whatever expansion is basically waiting for you, ready for you. You just have to be the one to step in it.
Yeah, absolutely. To the person who was saying beautiful deck, hi, Kador. It's the Threads of Fate Oracle deck, and the cards that it suggested to us in the order that they came was moving through warrior energy, like feeling like we're fighting for a cause that we are fighting, period, okay? That we feel that there is a need to fight, that there's a struggle going on, which is obviously indicative of an internal struggle, fully integrating ourselves, fully incorporating who we are, allowing us ourselves to be ourselves without making it a problem. And then after that was the explorer, which I think is some of the most neutral energy in this little flip out, because the explorer is more about like knowing what there is to know, allowing yourself to see what is there. What came to me is the science of the obvious. Just look at nature, you know, to see what is there. You can very easily observe the lessons that are being taught to you by just looking at everything. Okay, the explorer, curiosity of all things. And the outlaw, which is like, to be yourself is to be on the fringes.
Yeah.
You are a unique self. So you need to be willing to rebel into that self in order to come back to a place of neutrality. I think of it like, you know, suppression. What is the word? I don't know. Suppression, fight, you know, aggression, and then coming back to a place of just being, you know. So I do understand that the pendulum must swing. Yeah. And then movement, which is to say, like, if you're not getting it where you are, you need to go somewhere else. Like, go someplace, see other things, be in other rooms with other people. Don't say you know what it is until you've diversified your situation to the extent that you've exhausted all options and opportunities. And you got to be real honest with yourself about that type of shit with the take risk card. Is, you know, and the exploring take risk is like, to go where no person has gone before. This is the intergalactic starship log of your life. So threads of fate are like, get over the idea that you aren't in the fight. That's also the warrior, right? People are like, I'm not gonna deal with this, and you're just stewing in that shit. You're just sitting in that motherfucker, talking about you're not gonna deal with it. Yeah. So that's the threads of fate.
Beautiful. And we had a message. Leaves were falling heavily outside of my window, and the nearest tree is pretty far. I consider that a message to let go. It's a new season and a new headspace I'm in. Yeah. Again, people are having to let go of a lot of what they thought they knew. This is not a time to be holding on to anything. And kind of piggyback on what you were saying, Sanyu, of just like, see what there is to see, you know, be out in nature. Really, the thing is, open your eyes. You know, a lot of people are asking for all these different things, wanting abundance, wanting the partnership, wanting all, whatever they're looking for, and their eyes are closed. It's like, oh, it's like existence is like, sweetie, we right here. Like this whole time, we've been here right in front of your eyes, but you were choosing not to see it because you were closing your eyes. Two, you were attached to an idea of what that thing needed to look like, which in a sense is a version of closing your eyes as well, because you're not able to see what actually is there to see. So really opening your eyes, opening new eyes, seeing things from a new perspective, that new version of you. Again, if we're shifting and changing every moment, we're going through billions of dimensions every second, we're brand new every time. So to look at things with old eyes, the eyes of the versions of us that had old ideas that no longer serve us, then we really are not vibrating at the frequency where we can actually see the things that are now ready for us or that we're ready for. So it's really clean your eyes, open your eyes, shift your perspective about yourself, about your surroundings. There was something else that you said. Yeah, rebelling into yourself. I really like you said that. You know, oftentimes people imagine they have to be or look like something other than themselves. And the greatest act of rebellion or resistance is to really just be yourself, to surrender to who you are. You know, when you're rebelling just to rebel, or rebelling to, you know, try to emulate something that someone outside of you is dictating as what there is to do or be, then you are going against your own nature, which is a resistance to yourself. And that form of rebellion, what the foundation of that is fear. The foundation of that is negative energy in whatever ways it looks like for you. So that's really adding unnecessary energy to you. It's making your own load heavier because you're not actually, you're taking on other people's stuff, versus being who you are is the greatest act of resistance that you can do. And it really is a reflection to other people that they get to be who they are. And the more people reflect that back to each other, really all the things that we're rebelling for or against really will start to shift, because we are all operating from a place of actually being who we are in our own natures.
Yes. And the reason why that's a rebellion is because we live in a negating, nihilistic, negative society that suggests, and limiting society that suggests, that it is not okay that you exist, that the way that you are to yourself is somehow not possible to incorporate into your everyday existence. And all these unnecessary demographic, social condition, socially and politically conditioned structures that then try to determine for you what your experience is, are negating the fact that existence does not and cannot, it cannot at all not include what it creates. If you're here,
doesn't make mistakes.
You coast. So the rebellion here is to the mania that happens within humanity that says it's not okay. This is a mania. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was 3:33 a few seconds ago, so I was like, oh, 3:33 on Pacific time. But 3:33, I look at that. So 3 and 3 and 3 is 9. 9 is the number of transformation, ending of a cycle, new beginnings. So again, a lot of people are in that phase right now. So it's really an opportunity to, again, open your eyes, be illuminated to just the things that you haven't seen, that you haven't wanted to see before, that you are seeing in different ways, and really allowing for that time of transformative fire to really burn up and transmute and shift and change everything. Really, that again, it's a vestige of an old paradigm for yourself, an old paradigm for your family, for your ancestors, for your community, whatever levels of being that there are for you. Like, we're literally going through a time of transition, transformation, a time of spreading wings, whereas people were kind of, it's interesting. I see it as like this interesting paradox. On the one hand, people are so fragmented, like seeking things outside of themselves, or putting all their energy in all these other baskets, which we were taught, spread, don't keep your eggs in one basket, which on the one hand, that's true. But people have just spread themselves so thin, they've gone away from their own core and their own grounding and their own foundation. So in part, this is a time to really cohere that energy back into yourself, and to really see, okay, what is it that I prefer? What are the things that make me happy? What are the things that bring me joy? What are the things that are what I came here to do? So really bringing that energy back into yourself and getting that to be really solidified. And as you do that, then ironically, the ripple effect is that it actually expands outward, and you're able to then give appropriate energy to all those other things that are in alignment with you. So it's really this time of coming back in so you can go out. And on the flip side, for those individuals that have been kind of in this place of restriction, of limitation, of, oh, I can't do this because of this reason, like, AKA negative beliefs and ideas about who you are and what you're able to do. Again, the transformation for you is to break through that, to stop that shit, and to really spread your wings and fly. Now existence has been like, look, you've been incubating, we've given you all the tools, there's really nothing more that we can give you, first of all, because you aren't even using what we've given you, and second of all, we've given you everything. So what more do you want? You got to now use it, and as you use it, what is not necessary will fall to the wayside, and then you'll make room for new things. But again, until you spread your wings and fly, you will not know how high you can go.
Exactly. And I know what our negating minds are saying. They're like, but what about capitalist white cis heteropatriarchy? I know people. It exists, right? That we are all being oppressed by cis supremacy ideation. But let me offer you this. So the fuck what? I don't live, okay? Because the point is that that shit is an invention. And even though it has very real implications, I still must live for every day that I have available to me to the extent that I am able and willing to show myself regardless. So yes, shit happens, and regardless, you must live. So
exactly. It's being able to see, and again, I think there are so many different dimensions and different factors that we can read into for any situation. And it's great to be able to see it. And the work is to not get bogged down in it, because getting bogged down in it, getting weighed down by it, then prevents that, again, that water from flowing through, that fire from burning through. You got to see it, be like, good, I see all the different things, you know, patriarchy, white supremacy, ableism, all these different things. And yes, we can have conversations all day long about that. And what I also need to do is break forward and not allow those things to really dictate or indicate the ways that I need to move. You know, I had one situation a while back where I worked for someone. They didn't pay me in the time frame that I imagined was appropriate. I kept following up with that person. Person happened to be a white male. So here I am with my mind that goes all over the place. I'm like, oh my God, he hasn't paid me. Is it because I'm Black? Is it because he's white? Is it because X, Y, Z, all these different things? And it's like, you know what? Possibly, potentially, it could be all those reasons or other reasons. However, at the end of the day, what we're dealing with is that he hasn't paid you, period. So you get to say, hey, you haven't paid me in the time frame that, you know, we agreed upon, and that's just dishonoring our agreement. Any conversations about race, about gender, all these different things, I'm happy to have. We can pick another day to have it. We can break through it. We can deconstruct it. Wonderful. But if I get bogged down on that, then that goes away from the fact of like, dude, you haven't paid me, period. It's being able to see all of it, because again, we live in this multi-dimensional world, this multi-dimensional earth. However, always coming back to the neutral of what actually happened. And the more you act from that place, then the more you start to break through all the other dimensions as well, because you acting from a place of like, I don't care, female, male, doesn't matter. You didn't pay me, period. Period.
yeah, you have to see your humanity in all circumstances, regardless of how someone is trying to dehumanize you, is irrelevant, because clearly that human has some motherfucking problems with humanity, okay? They better take that shit up with existence, which you are one version of. You are existence, but you don't have to do all that work. And I think, obviously, there are multiple dimensions and multiple realities, but it's like, there's your existence, the fact that you are a perspective in the multiverse, which is seemingly infinite, there's that. And then there's your humanity, which is your time here and your experience here and what it is for you all along the way. And these are two conversations. One conversation is eternal, the existence conversation. Another conversation is temporal, the humanity conversation. They're not unconnected, but one trumps the other, okay? And existence trumps humanity every time, okay? Every time. While Onyi's shuffling over there, I'll just share some cards that popped out earlier. We started with the Queen of Wands, which in this deck is Topaz. Queen of Wands, the fluidity and the femininity and the passion of our work, the musiness of our lives, what inspires us, what makes us thirsty, you know, what makes us want more to serve, not only to survive, but more existence, more time. The thing that makes you want more time with the Queen of Wands. Then we have the Two of Swords. Keep your shit in balance and equilibrium. What is for you should come effortlessly, which doesn't mean without work. You can work smart without hurting yourself, right? If you know you need rest, if you know you need sustenance, if you know you need to do something else, that's working smart. So there's that. You got something you want to say?
That was all about balance.
Then the Knight of Cups popped up here just to be like, existence is honestly romancing you. Like, it's not a trick. For the ideas that come to you, this is existence giving you these things to think of. It is not to sabotage you. If you have, or what we say, where there is a heads, there is a tails. So if you have an idea, there's someone to receive it. You don't need everyone to receive it. You just need the people who need to receive it to get it, right? And then we have Wheel of Fortune. Things come and go, seasons. Process is the point. And the last two, no surprise, we have Death in the Valley, which is a part of that Wheel of Fortune, that shit dies so that things can come on you, you know, generation after generation. And then we end on the Queen of Swords, which was that Oya energy that Onyi was talking about in the beginning, which is that air truth energy, that dying on the sword of your negative ego and becoming more of your true nature. So, you know, if you're not going to be the one to do it, no one is going to be able to do it for you.
So we have here the burden. So again, what are you carrying that is not yours? What are you holding on to stubbornly that is not yours, that weighs a ton? It's preventing you from being able to do the work that you need to do. It's preventing you from being able to have the energy to be of service in whatever ways you need to be of service. So let it go. If there's other people's dreams that you've been supporting but have no sustenance for you, are not giving you any type of energy, if there's any types of relationships that you are in, whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, business partnerships, where you have been carrying an unnecessary load, basically it's not an equitable type of relationship. And it doesn't, I mean, equal can look different to different people, as long as there's an agreement about what that's supposed to look like and what each person's part is, and ensuring that every person feels like they're being supported and that their own desires or their own concerns are being taken into consideration. But again, for those of you that are in situations that are very imbalanced, then really take a look at those situations, renegotiate those situations, renegotiate those relationships. And if you need to let them go, because that is stressing you out. And it is literally sapping your energy, like literally. So just, again, let it go. I mean, different things you can do just on a physical sense too is literally the movement of just like, okay, whatever I'm carrying, I let it go. You know, a lot of people who have back issues, a lot of people who have issues or tension, pain in their shoulders. Imagine what additional pain, what additional weight are you shouldering? What are you carrying that is not your own on your back, that is creating in a physicalized way then that back pain? And you know, vice versa, in what ways are you not being supported in the relationships that you have? So again, your back is feeling that lack of support from those people who you imagine are your friends, your partners, your companions, and so forth. So really take an honest assessment and look at those situations in your life and let it go, transform it, have whatever conversation you need to have. But sometimes, you know what, it's like, don't even have the conversation and just let it go. Schizophrenia. So again, part of it to me is just jump and let it go. Whatever you're holding on to, let it go. If there's any confusion or any indecisiveness about which choice to take, or, you know, what to do regarding a relationship, where to go, whatever, where to go, any time, or in this time right now, if you are kind of debating between a couple of things and you really just can't choose, literally just let go and pick any, mini, miny, mo. Doesn't matter, pick one. And if you do the any, mini, miny, mo, and the one thing that you were like, something is picked and you're like, oh man, I wish the other thing would have been picked, then there you go, there's your answer. But you just got to let it go, jump, because you just staying stuck right there is literally splitting you from head to toe. Literally. You're bifurcating yourself unnecessarily.
Bifurcating, bitch. You're not bifurcating. Okay.
Ooh. Oh, one actually, okay, sharing.
Aww.
For sharing. And a big, one of the main messages with this for me is a sharing of your gifts, of who you are. If you are not showing up as the gift that you are to this existence, to this world, to this earth, to your family, to your relationships, to your communities in whatever sense, then you are depriving people of what they need from you. So it's really a time to step into your power, step into your glow, your beauty, however that's manifested. It's not going to look like someone else's. And again, you wanting to be someone else or pretending to be someone else, again, is stingy, because you are not giving the gifts that you came here to give. So you're literally withholding that from everyone. So really, this is the time to, you know, hone in your gifts, cultivate your gifts, and that's great. But you've been doing that for some time. So it's really a time to start sharing that with people, sharing your light, sharing your love, sharing your abundance. And as you continue to share abundance, then the abundance that, again, is vibrating at that frequency that will meet you will start becoming more and more visible to you. You'll start seeing it more clearly, because you're really coming from a place of sitting in a place of abundance. So abundance has nothing to do other than to find you, because you are vibrating at that frequency.
Are those all the things you pulled?
Yeah, I pulled the 3 cards, and I'm sitting with a glass with some water and a candle, and the candle's kind of burning like crazy. So a ritual or an exercise any of you can do if you just feel like you're stuck and you're not seeing something, or you just recognize that you yourself are just preventing yourself from seeing something, which is fine. I think the first level of healing is awareness. So even just being aware that you are being stubborn and not wanting to see something, that's fine. So now take the next step, and in your prayers and your meditation, really ask your higher self, ask, you know, whatever deities or energies that you pray to support you, to say, please help illuminate those things in my life currently that I'm stubbornly holding on to, that are really preventing me from stepping into the fullness of who I am. Something you can do is light a candle, literally, and sit with the candle and just watch the fire burning. And just as you're watching the fire burning, if you want to have a journal next to you and just start writing whatever things are coming to you, just when you think of the candle and the flame, the fire, illumination, burning away of, seeing things, lighting things up, lighting where it's been dark. So do that meditation and just see what comes to you. And the same thing with water, you know, asking for clarity, asking for coolness, asking for the ability to break through rigidity. Sit with a glass of water and meditate. Maybe do those 2 rituals or exercises, you know, one after the other, or 1 week you do all fire and 1 week you do all water, whatever combination works best for you. But as you sit with those elements, then really they vibrate, or they're tapping into those elements within you to then help you bridge that part of your consciousness that will take you to that next level, depending on kind of where you need to be at this time in your life.
I think a poignant message that Onyi was rounding up there is just, you got to do something.
Action. Yeah. Move.
Action is the language, at least these days, of humanity. So we must act. And that means small acts, great acts, profound acts, daring acts, risky acts, but you got to do something. It's not going to happen for you without you. I mean, wherever you go, there you are. So if some shit's going to happen for you, you're the main motherfucker to do the things to do. So get with the program. Understand existence will show up to support the program once you get with it. And keep at it because you want to be better, not because you need things to look a certain way as a result. You just have to do it for yourself in a real selfish way. A holistic, selfish way, as opposed to a shallow or petty one.
Yeah. And ask for help. You have support, whether it's your ancestors, you know, it's participation, it's your ancestors, your spirit guides on a kind of more ethereal level, but even just on a physical level, you know, reach out to those who are your trusted companions. Reach out to, you know, those individuals that have shown up as mentors for you, those individuals that you truly value and really can help you break through, again, whatever it is that you need to break through, whatever will help you take the next level of action. If you feel like you've kind of hit a wall or a ceiling, then perhaps, again, that support, that tutelage from someone else is what will then break through that last level for you. But you do have a lot of support. Again, it's that abundance and just opening your eyes and seeing it. It's all around you.
Mhm. So we hope that this message, brief and quick and spontaneous, has served you well going into this full moon week.
Yes, yeah.
And yes, it's been a blessing. Oni, thank you for joining me and for sharing messages. So I am Sanyu.
I am Onyi. And together
we are SONYI. Okay.